Okay, let's proceed. Larissa, if we wanted to design a system and we wanted to see the result earlier, what kinds of methodology you're going to adopt? If you wanted to design a system, you wanted to see the result earlier, what kinds of methodology you're going to adopt? Want to see the result earlier. It's too late. We wanted to check that. What kinds of methodology you wanted to base? Do you want to answer this question? Okay, Harry? Prototyping? Why? Yeah. Use microphone.
You can get you can earlier get a simple model, so you can earlier to get the texture is good or bad, and to change it to get the better version.
Is this reliable?
Yeah. Reliable? No.
Not reliable.
Yeah, not reliable.
Right. Okay. Yes. In that situation, we use prototyping because we wanted to see the result earlier, right? And Jack said phase. I said no. We want to see the result earlier, and that's use phase is a difference. Phase. We want to finish the function. No, some function earlier, right? So there's a difference. Different, right? Prototyping, that is a work print. It's not ready yet, right? We want to see. It's okay. We can go further like that. It could be included in other methodology. We need to test it, right? Test it earlier to see that. Well, it's okay, fine, and ask our client, is that what you need? So I put you that, right? I said, okay, like that, and then you can go further, right? So there's a difference. So prototyping, all right. Okay, Pumpkin. Tell me the difference between prototyping and throwaway prototyping. Prototyping and throwaway prototyping. Tell me the difference between these two. Use microphone. The difference between these two. You want to answer this? Okay.
I think and throwaway prototyping have more complete the analysis and is more reliable.
It's more reliable.
Yeah.
Throwaway prototyping. They have the prototyping words, but throwaway prototyping is more reliable. Is this for design or for the system? Throwaway prototyping become the system, or it is for design?
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, it's a system.
System?
Yeah.
So it's a system design.
Excuse me, it's in design. The
Is it
design
for
prototype.
design or for system? Become a system or become no? For design prototyping.
Design prototyping.
So
And-
throwaway prototyping is for design
那所以设计的时候是这种。
or better design.
Oh no.
No?
嗯
Or what it means? I'll probably said it again. So which one become the system? Which one, becomes our design? How about design? One way is become our system. Prototyping.
嗯
Which one? Which prototype becomes our system? Which
throwaway prototyping.
throwaway prototyping?
啊
Okay, there's some bug here, right? Okay, Ethan?
Prototyping becomes a system,
Mm-hmm.
and
Throwaway prototyping.
throwaway is just for design.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I should explain this from your answer. I know there's something that's confusing you, right? Prototyping is not reliable, right? Because we regard it as a system, right? But I know there's something confused here. That if we regard this as the system, like here, it becomes system, right? This one become our system. It's not reliable, right? So usually we will use prototyping as a reference, right? Or as a way to see the result earlier. Okay, that's a better way. And here become the system. It's a prototype. So prototyping methodology, the result is a prototype. So when we say prototype, it's not the final one, right? So it's only a prototype. It's only a prototype. It's a working, it's only a working version of the system that becomes system. Here, it becomes system. So prototyping becomes system. And it's just not reliable, all right? So if it's not harmful, it's fine, but usually it's not reliable. And I know that probably your answer could be that's and here we can see that we have a lot of prototype. It's only for design, right? So design prototype. So here help us to design. All right, a lot of prototype help us to design better one, right? So eventually that will not become our system. All right, so we'll go through a lot of that because we have enough time, we can learn something new. If we are not familiar, we don't know, we don't know the technology well. We use throwaway prototyping methodology because we know that what we have done is only for our design, right? So here, for design is better, right? So it takes longer. You have a lot of design prototype, lots of ads, but help us design. But eventually, that is different from the design prototype, all right? So got it. Yeah. And that is. And tell us about the what's the difficult parts of payroll. That is structure 1.
就是它每一个，就是因为它会同时一起在设计，所以它可能每个产生的问题都会互相影响到其他的流程。
And the the difficult one. Yeah, you mentioned the problems and what's the difficult one? The difficult problem, the parallel. Yeah, and there were affects. Who wanted to answer? Audrey.
How you cut the project to sub-project, and how you integration the sub-project.
Okay, very good. Right. So you got to be very experienced project manager because you know how to divide it, right? Sub project. We have a sub process, so you can see the sub process is the sub project 1, sub project 2 by divide. You can separate that, and then we know that probably one of that delay will affect the others, right? So you need to monitor that, and eventually integrate it. That's very difficult, right? Integrate it. If some of that, it just turn sour, some of the separate turn sour, and that will affect the other. Yeah, they were interrelated, right? That's So we need to have very clear specification. That you do this part, you do that, and then finally, anyway, that's a difficult part. Okay, and Mina, what's the benefits of phased?
Face can use to app, and this if a user don't know the function what it need very clear, and it can use face.
If it says if we don't understand clear about the function,
Yes, like if the user, the customer,
if the customer, say it again.
if the customer wants a new app, wants a new product, but its demand not very clear, like he don't know what function he need. In this situation, we can use face.
Why the client has no clear ideas about the function and we use face? Does it make sense?
Because I think it will have a version 1, version 2, and a version 3 about the very version. In each version, it can have many time to analyze it, and it can more clear to know it what he need, and to more touch to sorry, I use Chinese. Face 的话，就是因为它会有不同的 version， 那它可以在每一次的 version 中去做重新的分析设计，那这样就可以去更贴近客户的需求。
Alex, what's your replies on that?
I think there's several benefit in phrase. First one is the client may, because take a cell phone as an example. We got a cell phone because we want to call somebody. So we got the version 1 just for the call that we need to call somebody. And the version 2, maybe we have to chat to someone. Then we can improve and modify into the version 2. And this is the benefit of the phrase.
Okay, yeah, that's close to my question, right? So so first, we need to understand what would be the most important or a critical function, right? Of all the function, we select only piece of parts, right? That parts are the most care of our customer, right? So then we decided that to put it to the markets earlier because we wanted to take the market share earlier, then we can win, right? Then we become version 1. It doesn't mean that version 1 we only finish part of the function. Doesn't not necessary to that, right? Probably, but that function is finished. And the second, we gather feedback from customer, right? Then we add some other function, or we add extra feature of the function. Probably that's because we wanted to have customers feedback, and then to revise or some of that is a revise, or the next function, because until then we understand well, right? We don't want it to put it earlier than it will fail, right? So that is the phased, right? One of that, if we don't have totally understanding the requirements, we hold it later, and we put that we think that we are confident one earlier. And for the team, they have time to study it until they understand that, and then they design that part, right? So it's phased. So phased can help us to put not the total function, but the most critical ones earlier to the markets, right? And we have time to study and then put it to the next version and the next. It's quite flexible. Probably we polish the original version, polish, revise, or we add some other function to it. That's until we are confident, then we design that part. So that is the phase. So first, second, and the later phases. So that is about our methodology, right? And okay, nice. To this place. Right, extreme programming. So extreme programming, the concept is quite different, right? It's agile, quite a nimble, flexible, right? Very flexible. So, but well, it's very difficult. What is that? Because extreme programming, you need to have a team of quite high scale, right? So with a high scale programming skill, then even though the technology is not familiar to them, right? But they learn it quickly, right? So it's very difficult to find the team, right? Extreme programming. So they can take very difficult project because with strong team, right? They can invent some method, right? So this extreme programming. So with this, it's agile, and they hate because their time focused on programming code, right? They don't want to write any documents. Even they change it often, right? They like change. They like challenge, right? So the team can change it often. They have a high skill programming, so they can change it or pursue for innovation. So this is a very special technique, right? Extreme programming. The team is not a big, smaller one. Always arrange pair, 2 person to tackle the same problem, right? 1 person write the code, the other watch, all right? very intense, right? So 2-person high skill. So when you write code, the other watch, and to see all the steps. So and always two, just a pair negotiation, pair programming, right? If one of the person is sick, the other can take, and always there's another one. So always do the things in pair. So you can see pair programming. They have meeting all the time. When they meet, they use stand-up meeting. Stand up, full of energy, and they don't want to take longer for the meeting. So usually it's a short time meeting. Even you may overturn the decisions of yesterday. It doesn't matter, right? So they have the courage to change. So you're going to see this. They will invite the user to participate and to give some, what do you think about this? Whenever it's not good, they change it, right? So you're going to see this code. So the keyword code, they don't document. Pair programming, right? They conduct a lot of testing. They overrule yesterday's product probably, right? Stand-up meeting, acceptance test, right? Acceptance, that means the voice from user, right? From user, they have a lot of iteration. So it's a very, very special one. They can tackle a lot of problem. Scrum is also agile, but it's more formal, right? Because they have a lot of role, and they have a product owner. Product owner decides all the product, so put it in a list. So here, product backlog. So for the product, and they have the schedule, right? The schedule speaks about spring, right? So talk about that with spring, put a spring. So a spring is a piece of the function. So each spring, you can see about a description, but the description is a plain language provided by user, right? The user will use very simple language to describe it. So for the task, that is the function. User story describe a function. What's user from user's point of view to describe the function and the task and the time. Finish that. So they subdivide this into dates, right? Dates, how many hours will be allocated to the task, right? So you are going to see the burn chart, right? You got to finish that. The time is quite intense for that. And here you are going to see the Scrum Master. So Scrum Master is going to negotiate. Scrum Master is not technical oriented, but negotiate for that. So user story. Like use case, we're going to learn about use case. But here, user story is very plain language. Like as a member, so user said, as a member, I can read profile. I hope that's a function that I can read the profile, or other members that I can find someone to date. Right. This is probably a date function. Right. So tell you this. So based on the requirements, you set the task, right? The task and how much time for the day to finish that's right. Spring backup.嗯，我用中文讲一下这个 string programming 这个你要使用这个 methodology 呢。你必须要有一群非常顶尖的这个 programmer， 他们都是非常有经验的experience 的这个 programmer 即使是不是他们熟悉的这种技术呢，这群人对他们来讲也不是什么样的问题那 如果这个 requirement 并不是很熟悉的，对 requirement， 那其实是根本就一点问题没有的，就是因为很多都是新的东西，所以对这个 extreme programming 有时候它就是一个小的，但是呢，这小群的人他们一定要非常很厉害的，他们可以 tackle 很多 problem， 所以这个是 extreme programming。那他们动作很快，他们不想浪费时间写 document， 所以绝对没有什么 document， 全部都是 code。今天可以推翻昨天的，他们会有 user 参与来看，哎，你觉得这样子的结果是 OK 吗？那 user 说，哎，还不错，他们就做。那有时候他们也会自己推翻自己的。那 anyway 就是不断做这样，都是2个人做，一个 team 不会很多人，就是也许6个或这样，都是成双的，每一个人参与的不止一个 task， 那是确保有人没有持续的，一定有人知道怎么做下去。那这讲的就是一种 stand up meeting，even 这个讨论他们也是用站立的方式，就是讨论时间都很快。那沟通一下而已，因为他们都非常有经验的，所以其实这个 extreme programming 呢，会用到的不是那么普遍的，因为很难找到这么厉害的。Scrum 它就比较不是这样，even 它也是比较快速了，可是它就有很多的 role， 所以公司会比较采用 Scrum 因为不可能找到这么厉害的人，所以这个 Scrum 呢，它就会有这个 product owner， 他会把要做的这些全部都列清楚的，那这个 product owner 呢，他责任就会很大，因为他是先去沟通，跟 end user 沟通，得到这些，然后你就照着这样子做，那这个 team 呢就跟着做 ，team 不见得是很厉害那这个 team 有的也在学习，就是在群体里头，有 Scrum Master 他就是用来协调，因为有 Scrum， 有好几个 Scrum 可能是这样子的，他们也经常会讨论，这比较像一般公司他们比较 practical 会用的这种方式，所以这个 task 很清楚的列出来会有 user 的角度来说明，就像刚刚看到的这个列出 task， 然后明确的定出时间要完成的就不像 string programming， 这是非常的激进的很 high end 这高手那他们不会 follow 你跟他定的这些东西，不会这样子，这个是就很不一样的。那这个就是你看到有很多的文件，这个 string programming 没有这个，那也许呢，他一天就可以做完大多事儿。Okay, then which methodology to use, and it's quite important to help you to understand from this table, right? We can see that structure, red and agile. If you don't have clear understanding of user requirements, you can see that waterfall, no, of course not. Parallel, no, right? Phase, it says goods, that means that I know this part, so I can design, we can design it for unclear, fine, because we have time. We put it as a later version, right? So with unclear user requirements, phase is good, but not excellent. We can do part of that, all right? And for the other, we'll put it later. You got to know that. Prototyping, it means excellent because they can do whatever, right? For the earlier result, right? Prototyping is excellent, but we know that's only we wanted to see the result earlier. It's not reliable at all. It's the prototyping line, but it says unfamiliar technology. You can do nothing, right? So prototyping, of course, if you don't know how to do it, it's of course not, right? And if it's a complex, no, right? Reliable, of course not, right? Short time, of course, yes, we can see that, whatever. So I take the example of prototyping to explain that, and you know how to use the table to help you understand that and distinguish, you know, the methodology, right? So that's about the methodology to you finally. That we're going to see the up and here. You can read it by yourself, right? Okay, I'll explain this. For object, because we have a lot of time to discuss object-oriented design, right? Analysis and design, and we know that object, right? Object communicates with other object, right? By message, right? Object itself encapsulate that, right? We hide the data. So you are going to see three feature characteristic of object-oriented design. So one of that, you wanted to hide it, right? So we need to hide it. Then one object is data. So know the data, know the information, and can perform it. So know something, and then you can do something. So you have operation, you have the data, or combine the data and the data and process together. So if we wanted to design it, then we wanted to show the functional view. So then you see that we have use case, right? Use case, how many function, right? Functional view. So use case diagram. And then go to use case description. We know the detail about the communication between actor and our system, right? It's a functional view. We also wanted to know the structure, like what about the class, right? So the class is a template. Only object can perform, right? But class provides a template. We want to see their structure. So structure view, that's static, or a components view. That is structure view. On the other hand, you want how they communicate with each other. So you're going to see behavior. But you wanted to see which message sent from whoop, right? From whoop, and then go to the other receiver, right? Behavior view. So we're going to learn like sequence diagram, behavior state machine. That's so this kind of view. Class object method message, right? Encapsulation, encapsulate because of hide the data. We may put it as a public, or since it's inheritance. It's inheritance save us time. Whatever your parent is going to pass us on to the children. We don't need to write the same attributes and method again. So inheritance is good for something, right? But usually we're going to see that when we misuse that's a pretty hard to maintain that. So we can see this. And one message sent to different targets, they can perform differently. So here you see the characteristic of object-oriented system. So hide the data, encapsulate that, and inheritance. When somebody asks you, so what about the object-oriented design? Then you can tell them, oh, well, you can hide or you can reveal, right? The data encapsulation, then you can make the message, send it to different targets and perform different polymorphism. You can have the message. You can have the data and method. You get it from your parents easily. The inheritance, that's. We'll have time to describe that later. Okay. Unified process. All right. So you can say up. Sometimes you probably will see RUP, RUP. So what do you think about RUP? It's the same as up. Does anyone know that? RUP and up. REP and UP. Even though that's, let me know. RUP. What does it mean, RUP and up? Nobody know. Even though it says raise your hand. Okay, RUP. Terry, RUP.
Sorry, is it rational unified process?
Relational?
Rational.
Rational? So what is rational?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right, rational. And do you know rational? What is rational? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you know that's rational. So the unified process, which R as rational, right? Yeah, you know, yeah. R. What is R? Is this a rational? Anyone knows that? It's okay, Benny. Benny?
It means something that makes sense.
No, not makes sense. Bridge?
It is have a very clear and a very clear explanation and a clear procedure.
Oh, no, not that.
That's what I mean.
Okay, so yeah, rational is a company name. Rational Rose. Rational Rose, the company proposed the up, right? Unified process. But this company was acquired by IBM. So now we don't have this company now, right? It's a company name, Rational Rose. They invent up, so we call this RUP, right? Acquired by IBM. Acquired, right? So we don't have the company now. So now it's IBM. So you probably see that's IBM is up, so or it's up, the same, right? Unified process. So this methodology, right, is very comprehensive. Very comprehensive. Usually, it's suitable for international, company, right, across the country, right, different culture, quite comprehensive, very big, right, like a chain store across the global, right, it's up. So, it's very big a company. They have a lot of branches in different country, right? Unified process. They consider engineering process and operation maintenance, right? It's more comprehensive, and the database is distributed database. So you are not going to design a simple project by using up, right? It's very comprehensive. So we're going to see that two dimension. The dimension, so you see that's engineering workflow and supporting workflow. And here, there's something that is similar. They kind of, sequence. You can see the sequence, right? Sequential. You can see the incremental, right? Add something and iteration. So a lot of iteration, right? That inception, like start, initiation, right? Initiation, starting, beginning, inception. So inception, elaboration, construction, transition. So think about what we talk about planning, like inception, right? So planning, it says the planning phase, right? You can see, together that the planning phase, not just a planning, because planning, we need to know business modeling, know business processes, and we need to know requirements. And when you see the shadow part, right? Shadow more or less. So a lot of business modeling, and then we also need to acquire requirements and analyze it, right? You can see the shadow is more design, a little bit design, implementation, even implement this and test it and deploy it, a little bit of that. So inception, elaboration, you can see elaborations, a lot of analysis and design. Analysis, design, right? And each part is become more or less, and the supporting workflow. So at the same time, some team member is going to understand the management, project management, and environments configuration. So I'll put it all together, right? So even inception, right? Inception, you can see that do a lot of things all together because it's a very comprehensive methodology. The scope is broad, right? This is it's about that. And the intention extension, see product. So we add production, but here up. Usually, if a general project, you will not use up because it needs a lot of person, participates in this. So that's about up. Inception, like we talk about feasibility analysis, right? Inception, we need to know the business processes. So we model that, right? Model that inception, and we know is this feasible or not. So focus on business modeling and requirements gathering, and heavy focus, on that parts. We'll go to elaborations, then so you can see analysis and design. Put it elaboration, right? Construction and transition. It says focus on testing and deployment. Even it says focus on that part, but we know that design, everything is more or less, all right? Because you see the shadow parts. That is about the methodology. 这个 up 的部分刚刚讲到，你可能会看到 Ration Rose 的这个 RUP， 两个是一样的啊。Ration Rose 是一家公司，后来被 IBM 收购了，所以没有这家公司了。那这个 up 呢，它因为是 IBM 嘛，它面对的是就是全世界性的，所以它独立把它拿出来，因为并不是所有的这个 project 会去用这个 up， 它非常的涵盖面非常的广，你可以看到，所以这不是很小的 project， 是非常非常大的。那考虑到的呢，就是层面就蛮多的，每一个它都有，每一个 iteration 呢，它就是 add value， 对不对？那我们看到，在每一个地方它都会考虑。就 parallel 去考虑所有的这些，这个大概就是今天的。So today we talk about the introduction is over as the overview of system analysis and design. But let's not go to detail for now. Tell you that what methodology that you can use, right? That one methodology may not fit, or that if that methodology is like a prototyping, right? You might combine with others, or even combine with face others. So, yeah, if you know the methodology well, then you know how to utilize them, in a good way. Okay. Remember that's your team assignment. Okay. So you got to submit your report to the Tron class, right? So TA will tell you that. So if you have anything to announce that, then then you can tell some, right? So anything, right? And that's it for today.